Fight Network continues. Thanks to Reed Kuhn, Fightnomics.com, the author, the website, and everything else in between for joining us. Let's welcome in Robin Black. Robin, it's always a pleasure, my man. How you doing?
Good, very, very good, man. I'm a big fan of that Reed Kuhn, man.
Yeah. He brings a different perspective. Mm-hmm. We got the betting perspective, the fantasy perspectives, the analytics perspectives, and Reed's all about numbers, and Reed believes numbers don't lie. And it's amazing, Robin, as we saw 10 consecutive underdogs win the other night in Brazil. Dollar parlay players cashing parlays upwards of $25,000. And I brought off the top of the program. If you've ever been to a casino and you're at the roulette wheel and you're seeing people bet on red and black, and it comes up red, 4 times in a row, don't think, oh, it can't come up red again. Enjoy the party.
Yeah.
Enjoy the wave. Hey, and every way, red again. And then it comes up black, and even stay with red until the pattern switches. Because it seems like it's random, but nevertheless, there are still trends and patterns in our life. Lottery numbers are random, but still, the number 42 still appears often. Yep. Like, there are still, random trends that happen within the anomalies. And, Robin, you would figure that each fight is a different entity, but we're talking about the atmosphere, the vibe, the feeling in the arena and backstage in the rooms. And you've been back there, so you know what we're talking about.
Okay, well, first of all, Reed would tell you that every single spin of that wheel is unrelated to the other. Every single time there is a 50% minus the 2 green ones.
Which would make sense.
Yeah.
So fights should be the same thing. Nothing to do with each other.
No, they are not. And the reason they are not is exactly what you're saying. I've been in the red corner, and I've been in the blue corner. Red corner is essentially all the favorites. It's all the people who live there, and they've matched you up. Red corner all night long, guys are winning. You're in the red corner, and that vibe keeps going. And hey, statistics, analytics, data, that doesn't take in vibes because the spin of that wheel has no vibe.
And we should note that fighters, they don't have their own rooms. I know most of you guys know this, but just for the record, like at a UFC event, there'll be 2 dressing rooms. So there'll be, 6 fighters in one room, 6 fighters in another. Maybe there'll be 3 rooms. But generally,
George might get his own room, but it's still by the red side. He still walks out where the red guys walk
and in fact, his room will be open and he'll leave the door open as well.
And we'll see Rory in there. Now, if Rory comes out and he's all bloodied up, I mean, imagine it. I've been the co-main event in the red corner, and all night long, guys, high-fiving each other. The mood is great. Then that's your turn, man. Go get it. That's a hold that affects your mentality, and your mentality affects your performance.
How about the blue room, Robin? If you see a guy, this guy just won as a 10-1 underdog. If you're Cyans, you come in, you just won as a 10-1 underdog. You don't think the guy up next, his trainer's like, come on, man.
We can do it too.
He just won as a 10-1 underdog.
Exactly.
You're only a 3-1 underdog. Let's do this.
Now flip that. You're in the red corner, and all your career, everybody, there's that mood. Instead, tonight, guy comes back, he's crying. Next guy comes back, his eyes wobbled, he's over the corner of his guy. Next guy comes up, he's opened this fight, they're trying to close it, the doctor's going all night long, the mood there, it's like, what's going on? And it's Brazil. Now, Reed told us last week that my chair just got excited and it dropped percentages right there. Reed told us last week on the show that and that was exciting. It's like numbers drop, all kinds of spinning wheel. Last week, the 66% of all Brazilian fights, Brazilians win. Brazilians fighting other guys 66% of the time they win. So that mood in that Brazil locker room is used to winning.
You know what was whack, though? Even the American guys, like Strickland was a favorite, and he loses. So it wasn't even just the Brazilian guys losing. But it is true. Robin is correct. The favorites are generally in the room together. The guys that are coming out second. The guys that are coming out second, and that's the way that it's built up.
And so that is not a roulette wheel. That is instead of a red or a black or a red or a black, it's a human, then a human, then a human, then a human with
how
feelings.
Many people are going to be playing every underdog this week thinking the same thing? Oh, Katzengano, Pennington. We got to be quick with this, Robin. Counter move. I had to take Ronda Rousey, $5,700. She's going to get there. I got a lot of respect for Katzengano and everything she's been through, but Ronda Rousey, come on. Every one of her fights has been a stoppage. I don't think it's going to be any different. James Krause, he usually gets tough opponents. No disrespect to Lazaro, but I like Krause to do a lot of damage here. Holly Holm makes her UFC debut. Let's see if her stand-up is as good as everybody says it is. I think it is going to be against Pennington. I think she is going to get the stoppage. Didn't really have a choice but to take Canero here. This guy has won like an he's won like a big-ass tournament and stuff. He's fought like a bunch of fights in the same day. Tough dude. Mark Munoz probably going to win a fight, but it's only $4,100. And Tim Meads, I had to do the math. I had $4,800 left. He's taking on Lima. I nearly took Lima, but I went with Means.
Yeah, well, my counter move picks, my last pick was either Lima or Means, and honest to God, you throw a dart, because that fight is so close. We were talking about this before we went on the air. Sometimes it's like 4,800 is perfect, but the reason they're both 4,800 is it's a very close fight. So you got Means, I got Lima. I started off with Holly Holm because she's going to win this fight. I see her making a big statement with a knockout. I didn't take Rousey because of the cost, and now I regret it. I think about it now. My counter move.
Come on, Holly Holm's 5,300. You might as well have spent the 400 on Rousey.
I don't know what I was thinking. I know Rousey's going to win the fight. Probably a first-round submission. Same deal. Katsingana's legit, but Ronda Rousey's basically Mike Tyson with boobs and blonde hair, and I don't mean knocking people out, just finishing people quick. Alan Jouban. This guy will get a first-round submission. Everybody out of California is saying this guy's at the top level. He's coming out. Kid Yamamoto's my guy. I was getting ready with him for a fight I had when he was training with Von Lee, training for Von Lee in Japan. Kid is due a good performance. He's one of the Japanese originals. He's going to do it. And Big Lewis. Big Lewis.
Derek Lewis taking on Potts, big heavyweight. Yeah, you can't go wrong taking a heavyweight and counter move.
Especially, you get a first-round knockout. I mean, that's how Lewis likes to do it, smash people in the face early.
We got to get out of here, but it's free to enter, people. You can win upwards of $500 in prizes. Countermove.com. It's the Morency and Black free roll. We'll be right back with some videos. All right, our back's against the wall right now. The bell is about to sound. Thanks to Robin Black and Reed Kuhn for joining us on the program. We had more videos, but we cut it down to 2. Josh Neer, the dentist. Guy's been on the program before. This dude's a badass, and you can tell. These guys from Iowa, you don't want to screw around with these farm dudes, man. Josh Neer's a tough-ass dude. As I tell you what, the internet troller found out. Patrick Martin. Big 6'6", 6'7" dude. He's been trolling Josh Neer forever. Says, hey, let me come down to the gym so I can kick your ass. Neer said, hey, come on down. Price is Right style. This is what happened.
Come on, man. Come on. All right, let me, John. You're all keeping up.
Little soccer kick on the way out to the face. No rules. Josh Neer's not in the UFC anymore, so don't worry about any suspensions for the dentist. And I guess it's fitting that Josh Neer ended with a soccer kick to the face, because we'll wrap up the show with a clip from a soccer match. And this is actually one of the best body slams you're ever going to see in any sport, let alone soccer. Other than that, you're on your own. Later.